Hello, this is a yard sale haul. I have been to many yards and garages and driveways, and I hoped that I would have a huge haul video, but alas, it is not to be. But I'm going to share what I have, and hopefully I have some stuff that's going to make me some money. So we're going to jump right into it. The first item that I want to show you, I don't know where it is, so I'm just going to put up a picture. It is a Disneyland Resorts Spirit jersey. I have Spirit jerseys in my closet that aren't selling, but they're not Disney. And then I have Disney stuff that's in my closet that's not selling, but they aren't a Spirit jersey. So I decided to give this a try because I like it, and I figured if I check the comps later and they're terrible, I'll just keep it. It's a size extra small, but it is oversized and should fit me quite well. It was $1. So I am past the stage of buying things because they're $1, as I may have done early on in this reselling journey. But there are things that I will only buy if they are cheap. So I don't buy it because it's cheap, but if it's something I like and it's like, well, I want to buy this, but I will only buy it if it's cheap. Well, this fits that category. Next I have, this is a men's Wrangler Western shirt. It is not a brush popper. When I saw it from across the way, I'm like, ooh, are there brush poppers there? It's not. A brush popper is heavier. It almost seems coated. I feel like it has a sheen, and it's water resistant, and generally it's got the print on the outside but not on the inside. This is just a plain shirt. It's a size extra large, and I actually bought two. I didn't really look up comps because I have a soft spot for this sort of thing, and I thought if they don't sell that well on their own, I would bundle them because they're both size extra large. And I did a quick search, and I think I'll list them separately, but I won't know until I really get into it. I did take pictures of it, but I haven't gotten past that. And then also in the Western shirt category, I got this other Wrangler. This one is a 2XL. Those other two came from the same yard sale, so same man. This one came from a different one. What I liked about this, first of all, I love the all black with the like sort of black pearl snaps. This is all embroidered. And look at that, embroidered. So I feel like I could sell this for a decent amount. I bought two similar jackets. And I didn't look up this brand. I didn't look anything up because I just liked the style, thought it was perfect for the season. It is the American Outdoorsman. And when I did look that up, it's not a good brand. So don't buy something just because it's the American Outdoorsman. But they are both shackets. They both have the two patch pockets there and the slip pockets on the side. I didn't look up this item. I just liked it. It is I'm not sure if it's exactly a beret. I don't think normally berets have a seam there. So I feel like it could be worn more full on like that. But I did take pictures of this already, and I did it both ways. And I did list the word beret. But I don't know if this has its own name. It's got a tie in the back. The drawstring comes through so you can tighten it. This is a water repellent fabrication, and the brand, which surprised me, is Peruvian Connection. So the woman said she bought it in the 90s, but she has too much hair, so it doesn't really work for her. Doesn't look like she wore it because there's no, this is leather here, and it's not discolored or anything. I don't know. I didn't really try it on. Ow. I have a big head, and I think it's too tight on me. So I don't know, like, do you do this to make it look more beret? I don't know, but I liked it. I said, how much is this? And she said, how much do you want to make me an offer? And I'm like, no, I don't do that. Because you never know whether it's a yard sale where they're just like, I just want to get rid of this stuff, or it's a yard sale where it's like, I want to make my money back that I spent, which is silly because you bought it, you got whatever, you didn't rent it. So anyway, people can charge what they want to charge, right? So she said $3. I was like, okay. Next. This is, and I don't understand this label, maybe you will know. It's Alice and Olivia, but it says Alice and Olivia Employed, which makes me think it belonged, that the employees wore this in the store, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's all twisted. Hang on. I had to take pictures of this. Okay. It's an extra small, but obviously oversized on the outside. I gave measurements of the lining, which is not, doesn't have like the accordion pleats. Very pretty, filmy, polka dot, cute little collar. The same sort of aesthetic, I think, as a Peter Pan collar, but it's not rounded. Well, you know, it has that sweet girl look to it. I don't know if there's a word for that kind. All right. Then I bought 4 vintage ski suits. One piece. All from the woman who they belonged to. I'm going to start with these two. They're the same brand. And I almost wasn't going to buy these. There were 4 of them. And I said, and they were a little higher than I wanted to pay. So I said, well, will you make me a deal if I buy all 4? She gave me a little bit of a deal. And finally I was like, okay, I think at least one of these will make my money back. The brand is Nils. And I have a Nils jacket in my closet that is not doing anything. But it's more of a windbreaker. So you really can't compare it. The issue is they don't... See, this one, she skied a lot. And she stopped skiing at 87. Though she didn't look older than that now. So I don't know how long ago that was. But she said she never wore the belts. So... Like I said, do you have the belt for this? She didn't know that it came with a belt because she didn't wear it with the belt, and it was a long, long time ago, so she doesn't remember. It's interesting because it is a one piece, but it has the look of a ski jacket with ski pants. Even the fabric is different, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know why you'd prefer to wear one piece. I don't know. This one does have the belt, and I don't know what size they are, but she was tiny. Well, not teeny tiny, size 12. Vintage size 12, obviously, because she looked like she was maybe a 6. So definitely gonna have to do measurements. Maybe I'll try them on. I didn't check all the elastics, which I should have for crunchiness. This fortunately doesn't have elastic. It's a stirrup that goes into your boot. Then the other Nils, which I'm assuming is the same size, because it's exactly this. Actually, it's not exactly the same. Like that one had a piece that went over to make it look more jackety. This is more of a one piece. The fabric is the same. This one is missing the belt. So I don't know if I can find something that'll work. I'll probably just try to sell it like this. And she had matching gloves, which she didn't charge me for. Let's see, this also says size 12. Some of these vintage ones can do really well. I don't know if these will. Size 12 also. This one does not have the stirrups on the outside, but I believe they have stirrups on the inside. So it's got that and then this over it. So even if this, a little bit crunchy, you've got to expect that. I don't know how old this is, but I don't think it matters as much because the stirrups are on the inside. This, I guess, is the last time she wore it, and it was February 1997, and she was a senior then. Jackson Hole. I'm going to leave that on to just sort of give an idea of age. The next one, also, no, this one is not missing a belt. This is a very good ski brand. It is, where does it say it? It's Bogner, and it says Marcus Wasmeyer, which I don't know what that is, but I like this one. It's solid black. It has embroidery. It's not Western embroidery at all. It's lions. It's like Roman. Lots of zippered pockets. I think there's a hood in there. But the belt has like a Western belt buckle. So I really liked that. And I did look up quickly one-piece Bogners, and they seem to do okay. Let's check that waist elastic. Waist elastic is good. Let me see. This does not have an inner stirrup. And it is a little bit crunchy. I mean, these are all pretty old, so when you're buying vintage, you don't expect everything to be like new. But obviously, I would mention that. I still try to avoid it if the elastics are completely shot. I didn't check things carefully. I will admit that, and I should have. Then this, I never heard of this brand. This is Killy. So I looked it up, and Killy can do really well. Killy can kill. So it is multicolored, very vintage. It does not have a waist elastic. I did, I think, check this one. Does it have stirrups inside? No. And there's no elastic there. Maybe there never was, actually. On the inside? No. It was missing the belt, but she had this belt, which is ski suit material, in one of the boxes. So I grabbed it because it was like, it's so many colors. I could include this belt. I will obviously let them know that the belt isn't the original. You can tell it doesn't exactly match everything, but it's just another pop of color. Why wouldn't it work? So, I don't know. What do you think? Sometimes I think I source differently than a lot of people. Anyway, here's one in the category of, I wouldn't, you know, I don't buy things because they're cheap, but I only bought these because they were cheap. I'm going to show a picture first. This is a pair of Doc Martens. They were $1, and the guy, it belonged to the guy. I couldn't tell what the size was, but he said it's a size 12 because that's what he wears. And they're beat up, but they're a brogue, which I thought was interesting. And I thought, well, I like a project. I don't like a project that much if there's like a lot of repairs on clothing. I'm trying to avoid, or stains that I may or may not get out and may take me forever to do. But I get some satisfaction from taking a pair of shoes and putting some shoe polish on it, or Doc Marten Wonder Balsam, and, you know, making it look better. So this is a picture of what they looked like. And now this is what they look like after being fixed up. So they're still beat up. They have, you know, like, they're a little bit stretched out here because of the way you like put your shoes on. Hang on. But overall, they're very wearable. Bit of foot drag there. Bottom is still pretty clean. You can see that there's, you know, they're not new. They weigh a ton. I weighed them. They're over 4 pounds. I would not have bought this at the bins. But we'll see. I'm not going to list these highs. I was thinking I'd list these probably at 35. They're vintage, and that's nice. Whew. Okay, another pair of shoes. That Wrangler shirt came from the same person as this. And I thought she said he wore a size 11. So these are shoes, and they are Prada. I did pay up for these, but they're vintage. The leather is, of course, lovely. It's hard to tell what the size is, and I don't think this is the size. There are some numbers here. They don't have European size on them, so I Googled that because I thought, oh, are they fake? But Prada doesn't always put in European size. So I had 2 men try these on. One was an 11.5 but had wide feet, and the other one was 12. And these were 11. The one who wears the 12 said he thought they could even work for someone who's 11.5, but that's likely because they're a very soft leather And, you know, they've been worn, so they've loosened up. But I'm going to list them as 11 and explain that they belong to someone who wore a size 11. I will give this measurement, and I should be able to, it's got a Velcro thing here. I should be able to give an inside measurement as well. They looked, I measured them against other shoes, and they looked bigger than 11, but they're a little bit tapered at the toe. So if you compare this to a boot that goes round, your toe is going to stop sooner than later before it hits that than in a boot with a wide toe box, which adds to confusion. I'm good at figuring out women's size. Men's a little harder for me because I'm not a man. All right. I got a bag and there's stuff I bought in it. This is Tory Burch. It's a very nice rattan, wicker, whatever bag, which I'm fine with in bags. I don't care for furniture. I don't like wicker furniture or rattan furniture. And then there's about a couple of things that are in here. Here, let me show you the inside. It's not perfect. It's got a little bit of staining down at the bottom, but, oh, look at this. Okay, I didn't look at this closely. Here it says Tory Burch. This pulls out and is a drawstring, like beach baggy thing. That's interesting. I know I can find this because I did a quick Google search, image search, and it did come up because I also wanted to make sure that it wasn't some, you know, random bag that said Tory Burch. So it did come up. Didn't really look at comps. I picked up this pair of shoes. This is a good brand. I wouldn't have picked them up if they weren't so cheap, just because they're small. But they're Joseph Seibel Air Massage in excellent condition. Very cute. What size are they? They're a 37, so pretty small. She said, I think she said she wears a 6.5 to 7. And then this dress, I thought this was cute. This is Proenza Schuler for Target, which I should know better than to buy because I have a bag that's Proenza Schuler for Target and it doesn't sell. But look how cute this is. It was $1. I don't have to list this for a while. It's adorable. It's a size 13. What is a size 13? Is it juniors? I don't know. You know, this might have been a mistake, but if it was a $1 mistake. So I'm not going to lose sleep over it. What is the fabric? That's 100% silk. And then the lining is polyester. So that is helpful. No, I'm not sorry. I'd be interested to see how this does. All right. What's in this one? What's in this IKEA bag? This is it, this IKEA bag. Okay, this is Pendleton. It was also $1. I wouldn't have gotten it because it is vintage. First, there's a stain I'm going to need to get out, but I can feel that it's a surface stain, and so I can't, and not necessarily in the fibers because it's hard and crusty. So I'm hoping it's okay. It does have one hole in the back, which I'll fix. People who like vintage are, you know, not going to freak out because there's one fixed hole. And if it doesn't sell, I'll keep it because I think it'd be really cute just over a turtleneck or something, mock turtleneck in the winter. I couldn't wear it without anything underneath it because I can't wear wool. It's itchy. But this is not super itchy, so it shouldn't bother me on my neck. No. I had to try it. I looked at that far too long considering that it was $1, but I was just like, it's not about the dollar. It's about, is this something I should be bringing home with me? In the end, it was another thing, I don't know. This probably won't go for much. It's just a Gildan hammer. I don't know what Gildan hammer is. But I liked that on it. And the back says Last Ride Dead Man Ink. I didn't look it up. MC Dead Man Ink. It's just such a great design. I think at worst I could put it on Facebook Marketplace for $5 or sleep in it. What size is it? It's a large. So too big for me to wear every day, probably. All right, I've got one bag and some shoes, and then I'm done. This is an interesting shiny bag in purplish, light purple. It's got a longer strap, and it's got two handles. It's very clean, and the brand is, where does it say? It's actually on the fabric. Amy Kestenberg. I have one Amy Kestenberg listed that hasn't really gone anywhere, but it's a kind of pricey brand, and I think people know it, so I was curious to try it. And sorry, noisy. I picked up these Birkenstocks. I don't know. I have Birkenstocks that aren't selling because they're not the Arizona, which is the most popular one. But I did like this design. I liked all of this. These are actually the, what is it? Papilio? Or Papilio? I don't know, whatever. They're a men's size 8. I can't read on that one what the women's size is. 7, women's 7.5. No, oh, never mind. Ladies 10, men's 8. I was looking in the wrong spot. In good condition. The cork is pretty good. So, I'm giving them a whirl. I actually sold a pair of Birkenstocks last night, so I was like, okay, let's get the Birkenstocks because I have Birkenstock money right now. This is a brand I'm not familiar with. Jonek, made in Italy. I thought it was an interesting retro shoe and made in Italy. I'm assuming she put these on so she wouldn't slip. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. Peel it off and just leave the bottom so you'll still see it. Or I could glue it, but I don't think I want to glue it because if the glue doesn't hold, I don't know. I did a quick search for this. It's not a brand you're going to see a lot of, but the ones that I did see seemed reasonably priced. They're suede. They are size 40. We'll see what happens. And last but not least, so I was looking at these and he said they're $10 and I moved on, and everything at this sale was good prices if you were finding things for yourself. I think I've been to there too. His wife's a shopper, but you know, there was like Athleta and G-Star, which I like, but everybody prices G-Star Raw up to where it's a little too high to source because I don't think it sells for a good amount, but not high enough to pay that much. But anyway, so they were $10, so I kept walking, and then I went back, and I'm like, I don't know. And he said, I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal on those, $5. I'm like, okay, I'll take them. So I saw that, and I was like, huh, are those Doc Martens? And sure enough, they are Doc Martens. They're the Darcy. These are a size 7 in gray. They're not perfect. I don't think I'll be able to get this out. I'm not even sure what to do to try, but I will try something. And the comps on the Doc Marten Darcy's seem to be pretty good, especially for $5. Worth a try. So that's it. I think this is probably, other than maybe some random yard sales here or there, probably at the end of the major yard saling season, which was very short because it didn't start up until long. But I'm not available to go yard sailing next weekend, and the weather did just suddenly turn, so it's cool out, which is not a problem, except it's like yesterday it was super windy, like horribly windy. A little better today, but still windy. So I don't know. I will have some more videos coming up shortly, but I probably won't have any big yard sale hauls. So thank you for joining me. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out, and I will see you on the next one, I hope. Bye.